The Knicks have made multiple moves. New York has signed and waived a number of players, but they also have finally made a decision on their final roster spot. And it's exactly what we all expected it to be. We're going to break down all of these latest reports today. This episode is presented by FanDuel. If you're enjoying the content, please hit that subscribe button and have notifications turned on so you don't miss any new content. And now, let's get started. The Knicks make multiple moves. The Knicks have been very busy, and if you've been following their moves, you're probably very confused right now. That's because the Knicks have signed and waived a number of players recently, all back-to-back. Take a look. Shout out to Knicks PR on the app X for giving us this following information. And as you can see, it almost looks never ending. They have signed the player, then they waive him. Sign a player, then they waive him. Sign a player, then they waive him. It goes on and on and on. So let's go ahead and break down all of the moves the Knicks made recently. You're going to have to forgive me because there's a lot of these moves. First off, the New York Knicks officially signed and waived Donovan Williams. Then they did the exact same thing to Isaiah Roby, both of them signing Exhibit 10 contracts. Then they did the exact same thing to Adama Ball, signed him to an Exhibit 10 contract, and then quickly waived him. But they were not done there. They did the same thing with Romeo Langford, signed him and then waived him. And then finally, they ended this streak. The Knicks signed and waived Ibrahim Adalo. Now, you might be asking yourself, why did the Knicks sign and waive 5 players straight? Well, the main reason they did that was because they're trying to stack their Westchester team. All of these players that the Knicks just signed and waived, now they have some incentive to join the Knicks G League team because each and every single one of these players, once they're signed and waived in this manner, I believe they have about an $85,000 incentive to join the Knicks Westchester team. And some of these players, they're going to jump at that opportunity. Number one, you get more money. And number two, you get to develop with the New York Knicks and potentially show off your skill set. But other than those moves, New York was not done there. They also made one final move. And this move basically cemented everything they're doing moving forward and the final player they're going to be adding to this roster. Let's take a look. The final update from Knicks PR, as you can see here. New York Knicks waive Alex Len, Garrison Mathews, and Matt Ryan. That's right. It's official. Landry Shamet is officially part of this Knicks team this season. Shout out to NBA Insider with The Athletic, James L. Edwards, for giving us this following information. According to him, Landry Shamet lands the last roster spot. The Knicks went into training camp with veteran Shamet, Malcolm Brogdon, and Garrison Mathews on non-guaranteed contracts and fighting for one roster spot. New York seriously entertained creating a roster spot to add 2 of those veterans, even shopping around promising but raw youngster Pacome Dadier. However, Brogdon abruptly retiring toward the end of the preseason made the decision easier for the Knicks brass. The team announced Saturday that it will waive Garrison Mathews and keep Landry Shamet. The veteran shooters have overlapping skill sets. So once Brogdon took himself out of the fold, New York wasn't as eager to create an open roster spot to keep 2 similar players. The Knicks, per league sources, were impressed with Garrison Mathews during training camp, but gave the nod to Shamet, who was with the team last season, can shoot, and is a bit better of a defender. I knew this was coming. I called it for weeks, especially after Malcolm Brogdon retired. At that point, there was never a need anymore to make a trade. The only reason you were making a trade before is because you wanted to keep both Landry Shamet and Malcolm Brogdon, but you never wanted to keep both Landry Shamet and Garrison Mathews. So as soon as Brogdon announced his retirement, I said it live with you guys when I was doing that stream. There was no way after that happened, New York was going to pivot and make a trade now. It didn't make sense. What made sense was to do exactly what they did. Sign one player and waive everybody else. Now, the New York Knicks roster is set. And even with Landry Shamet, look at the bench. The Knicks, without even thinking about Shamet, have 9 players that they can utilize as part of their rotation. You can add 10 by saying Huck Porty or Tyler Kolek. You want to talk about 11? That's where you can add Landry Shamet. Sometimes Shamet might be the 10th player off the bench. Sometimes he might be the 11th or 12th. It will all depend on Mike Brown, who we're playing that night, and the matchups. Because if the matchups favor it, Landry Shamet, he will be in the game. Sometimes over a few other players. And I'm going to be perfectly fine with that. Because if it helps the Knicks get the victory, I don't care who's in the game off the bench, as long as the bench is being utilized. And under Mike Brown, without a doubt, that's going to happen. We've already seen it in preseason. Sometimes 9 players, sometimes 10 players, sometimes 11 players. But if he sees a need for you in the game, you are going to be part of the game. And I'm not surprised they went in this direction. I've talked about it a number of times. The defense, the three-point shooting, but ultimately, the main reason he's back with this Knicks team is because of the chemistry he has with a number of players on this team. Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, the Knicks bench unit, Miles McBride, Tyler Kolek, all of these guys. He's been there. He's talked to these guys. He's played with these guys. And this is the type of player you want as part of this team. Somebody that complements this roster in the right way. Shamet can do everything that you need somebody at the end of the bench to do, and he's never going to complain about playing limited minutes. And that right there was probably the main selling point for New York. You're going to play here. You're going to be on this team, but you're not going to play heavy minutes. You're only going to play when it's necessary. Shamet understands that. He understands the assignment, and he understands his role on this Knicks team. And ultimately, that's why he's been added back. And shout out to channel sponsor FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, for giving us this updated information and these latest odds on how many regular season wins the Knicks are going to have this season. And as you can see, they have the Knicks win total at 53.5. In terms of the over, they have it at -104. And in terms of the under, they have it at -118. What this means is Vegas believes that either way, the New York Knicks will hit this win mark. However, whether they'll exceed this win total or go below it, that's anybody's guess. And Vegas, they really can't call it. So it's going to be up to the Knicks to prove themselves, prove their worth this year, and show everybody why they're a legit contender and potentially why they can win 60-plus games this season. It's funny to talk about the regular season and mention the amount of wins that the Knicks are going to have this year. Because honestly, even though the Knicks are going to be very competitive during this regular season, I think you're going to see a different version of this Knicks team in terms of how they treat the regular season. They have been here before, and they know what they need to do. They need to play hard. They need to win games, but they do not need to overplay. They do not need to burn their starters out or play them into the ground. What they need to do is have a consistent schedule and a structure. And as long as they have that and they're following that, come the postseason, we're going to have a lot of wins and a very healthy team that has the chemistry that we need to go very far come the postseason. As far as the NBA Finals, that's the ultimate goal. And under Mike Brown, we already see that happening. Mitchell Robinson, load management, no starter playing over 34 minutes, and some nights playing less than that. Some players not playing back-to-backs. Why would the Knicks be doing this? Because they want to prevent injury, keep this roster as healthy as possible, build up the chemistry, and come the postseason, have one of the best versions of this Knicks team that we have ever seen before. And if that's the ultimate goal, which, by the way, if that happens, the Knicks will absolutely be in the NBA Finals. I am here for all of it because this year is our year, and New York needs to do whatever it takes to get to the NBA Finals and win a championship. But what about you guys? What do you think about the Knicks making so many moves and ultimately signing Landry Shamet to that final roster spot. Let me know how you feel about that in the comment section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans, take care of yourself, your families, and each other. Peace and love.